Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It's Hollywood After Dark, motherfuckers. It's the 9th of March, 2026. That's right, folks. It's the year of the sex. And we're going to be talking about the sexiest motherfucker alive. That's the guy on the screen right there. That's my fat ass. Because apparently now I'm a Hollywood insider, according to ComicBookMovie.com. It's going to be a fun conversation tonight. We're going to watch a lot of AI action films, talking about the future of Hollywood. Because you know what time it is. Time for Hollywood After Dark, bitches. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? I'm on camera tonight, actually. It's going to look weird. You guys got to tell me how it looks because apparently my light isn't working very well. And I thought I'd go live. I thought I would just be on camera looking like my ugly ass self. So if this is horrifying for you, I apologize. But it is what I look like here, I guess. God, look at the gray. Look at that. Look at it getting fucking old so fast. Let's see here. You think I'm using my cam mic instead? Okay, let me double check that. No. There you go. How's that? Is that better? I need a better background. I need a better background. If I tilt it like this, that's a bit better. We'll go with that. Fuck it. Do it live. Do it fucking live. Yeah, I need better lighting. Well, what's funny is I have a ring light. I have another light. I can't find the fucking thing for this, and the thing for this is not working. So I don't know. It is what it is. Let's see. Your sound got better. Okay. Yeah, you DM me. Okay, cool. What's crack-a-lackin', guys? Hope everything is going well. It's been kind of an odd weekend, I guess. You know, we're coming up on what is it? There was like awards this weekend, I think. Right? You saw The Bride. Said that was a mistake, huh? Yeah, well. Make a movie wall or put a poster behind. I've got movies kind of right there. There's the Clerks setup that HWAD got me a while back. The problem with what happened was when I moved into this room, I just don't have a space like to put the desk and everything where I wanted it to go. So another problem too, I will admit, is this hat is not the best, right? It's like it's like if I pull it down lower like this, it just like bunches up on my head. I don't know, maybe I'll go off camera. Yeah, anyway. So The Bride, huh? Yeah, The Bride's out. A lot of people out there. I've seen reports coming out of that saying, like, oh my God, people are walking away from The Bride. Walking out in droves. No one's seeing it from what I've been ascertaining from it. I think part of it is it's one of those movies where you look at it and you go like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Why are we here? What is happening? Especially considering that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein has just come out a few months ago, and by and large, well received. You know what I mean? So it's now you've got this weird kind of like Repo the Genetic Opera take on it. It feels like, and I say that because the movie is like not a musical, but it's like there's a lot of music in it. I think maybe similar to the Joker. Haven't we learned at this point that doing kind of subversive stories about the bad guys, maybe not the best idea to have it shrouded in music. Tell a good story, go from there. Let's see here. I'm seeing The Bride yesterday. Also, Scream 7 sucks. I don't know. Okay. So is it you saw The Bride yesterday and Scream 7 sucks? Is that what's going on here? Okay. Let's see. When your movie starts a bit from a more successful and better movie, your movie can't stand alone. What are you talking about? There was a moment where I had the thought that this was like the Joker too. Yeah, maybe stop trying to do that. I think that's a big problem Hollywood has right now. I understand Maggie Gyllenhaal's idea, okay, her approach of wanting to do something where it was, there was like the feminist aspect of it, that there was the, it's got its metaphors, there's allegories, there's messages. I get all that. I get all that, and then it's like, but who is the movie for? Right? Like I watched the trailer. It looks like it's well shot. It looks interesting, but not something I would pay to go see. And this is and see, here's the reason for that too, is I talk about this a lot on Twitter, is that movie theaters are too damn expensive. For one, I think everyone here would agree, unless you've got the Regal, Unlimited, or you've got the AMC, A-list program or whatever. But yeah, you guys have to remember, but at the same time, not everybody has access to it, right? Out of all the millions of people who go see movies, I think there's like a million people that have got the AMC A-list. So, it's like it's still a small amount of people who find themselves in the position of, having access to that and using it. And good for them to do it, by the way. But when your value for a movie is the same, whether it's good or bad, people will generally tend to go towards the better. You know what I mean? They'll generally tend to go towards something that is more interesting, more worth their money, more worth their time. And that's kind of where we are, right? If you are going to the theater and you've only got $20 for one ticket, which is like what it costs now in so many places, and you walk up there and you look at the marquee and you're like, "Man, what do they got? I can go see The Bride. I can go see Scream 7. I can go see Hoppers. I can go see Avatar." Maybe Hoppers or Avatar would be the ones, because with Hoppers, it's new, but it's Pixar. Scream, maybe you saw the others, maybe you didn't. Maybe you support the boycott, maybe you don't. I don't know. You know? But The Bride is not something you're gonna look at and be like, "Yeah, man, let's fucking go, dog." I don't believe that's gonna happen. Quite frankly, love that terminology, by the way. It was a big old mess. Just a big old mess. Um, I actually am going to watch the Scream movies, because I feel by the time I get through to number 6, because I haven't seen 5 or 6, Scream 7 will be on digital, and I'll be able to check it out then. I have no desire, my friends, to go see it in theaters. I just don't. Um, as much as I love theaters, I also don't necessarily miss them entirely at this particular point. So there's that. Have I seen the film theory video about the state of film? I haven't. I know there's a video that came out. I saw it in my notifications today. I had to work until 7:30 this morning, so my schedule was all fucked up. And then both my kids are sick, and I stayed home sick Saturday from work, and I didn't stream. I just laid in bed and watched Ted season 2, which is aces, by the way. And so, yeah, I'm gonna get into watching some stuff here, and then also, Jess, I'm gonna get to doing the patio for Transformers. Um, but yeah, go ahead. Well, you can't send it to me. I haven't installed Discord on this computer yet. So I guess post it as like a thing on the Hollywood After Dark group, and I can get it there. My kids are always getting sick, dude. It's the winter time, and we're in the Northwest. I have a 6-year-old who's in first grade and an 8-year-old who's in second grade. Children are literally walking zombie movies. All right. I was not feeling well in many ways. I haven't fully recovered from my shifting at work, keep getting switched around. Right. They keep having me work until like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And that throws off my whole schedule. And when my routine is shot, I get sick. Not super sick, but just like enough to where it's like icky. My daughters, on the other hand, they're a spewing. I might have to run at any point in time tonight. And go take care of that. You know what I mean? So I'll have something on deck we can watch that's going to be a few minutes long. I can just throw up maybe that film theory fucking thing and shit. But yeah, dude, trust me, when you have kids yourself, you're going to see a lot of them are going to get sick. Thoughts on Arnold coming back for Conan the Barbarian and Commando? Well, that's not confirmed yet. If he's talked about it with Dan Trachtenberg for coming back as Dutch, that the Predator is one other one as well. Commando seems kind of weird, although I ain't against it. Are you going to be able to get Ray Don Chon to come back? Is she still alive? I don't even know. I think is she alive, right? Ray Don Chong, 65 years old. Okay. Yeah, get her back, man. Are you going to be able to get Alyssa Milano to come back? What's going to happen with that, right? What's going to be the story? I'd rather a True Lies 2 than a Commando 2. I love Commando, make no mistake. But what I always find to be really funny is the DNA between Die Hard and Commando. because there's DNA between those movies. Um, and is he coming back as Conan or a different role? Well, according to the reports, it's King Conan. And Christopher McQuarrie is apparently on to write and direct. And so I don't know about you, but that's kind of making it grow a little bit, right? It's getting up there. It's getting a little bit little rock hard. Get a little bit of that motherfucking Christopher McQuarrie in that action and shit. I'd be down for that. Motherfucker's been chained to Tom Cruise now for years. Let his ass run wild with some fucking shit. Show us Crom, man. Get us into that shit. Hell yeah, right? So there's that. I think I'd be okay with that, right? But I'd be okay with that with all of it, yeah. Because here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. You guys are gonna laugh at this. Actually, you're not gonna laugh at this one, right? I actually have not seen Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Destroyer. My only interaction with Arnold Schwarzenegger in that type of role is Red Sonja, where he did not play Conan. Did not play Conan. Okay. But I need to watch those. I know that they're Arrow released it. I'm waiting to see if I can get them for a good deal or buy the set or whatever. You want a True Lies 2 for Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, yeah, man. Did you see the Freaky Friday stuff they were doing with her when they had her doing the advertisements for Freaky Friday and her titties were more or less, I don't want to say hanging out, but they were out there. They were prominent, they were present, they were available. And everyone was like, Disney, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing, Disney. We know what's going on here. You're showing off the goods. And everyone's like firing up their copy of fucking Trading Places from 1986, going like, yeah, man, let's go. Or whatever year Trading Places came out, I forget. What up, Azteca? You out there in Mexico City? Mexico City. I'd like to go there. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'd like to go get good Mexican food. Hold on. Hold on here. Sorry, I'm trying to find. Okay, what did you send me over there? You sent me an American Ninja video, Jess, right? Or what else did you send? I didn't get anything yet. I froze. Okay. Let's see. You're damn right. When I saw those Freaky Your Friday ads, I got the chance to see her in person when she's at the El Cap. Nice. What's going on? Okay, well then, if that's happening, then I'll have to go off camera. Back to normal. Okay, people were saying wood. Wood what? Wood what? Yeah, I'm on cam. I thought about going on cam tonight. Whatever. I'm not afraid of being on camera. It's more comfortable if I'm not on camera. But I can't get my lighting to work because I can't find the plugs for it. So why that shit. So yeah, so I'm a Hollywood insider now. I didn't get the film theory. Did you? Let me. Pending posts. Pending posts. I haven't gotten anything yet on the pending post side of it. The last thing I got was an American Ninja video, which is cool. I'll find the film theory video. Hold up a second. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Is it the one Evolve or Die? Right? Is that the one? It's a 30-minute video. I don't know if we're gonna watch 30 minutes. Thumbnail says Evolve or Die. That's the one. Yeah. Avatar 4 is coming. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're waiting for more information for Avatar 4 to be coming. If 1/4 of the movie has already been shot, that means those costs have already been absorbed into the production budget of Avatar 2 and 3, which means that they both made a considerable amount of money. I just find it to be really funny that everyone, again, when it comes to budgets and all that kind of shit, there's a lot that goes on to the Hollywood budget system that we don't quite know all the details of, but a lot of people out there, they just want to make it a thing. Avatar's next movie, Mud and Water. Fuck it. Let's go. I don't give a shit what happens in the Avatar movies, okay? Like, he could be like, listen, all right, in Avatar 4, Jake Sully finds Christ, okay? And he converts Neytiri and Took and Kiri and Neteyam and Spider into Christian soldiers, okay? Who then join forces with the RDA, who now have a very charismatic Christian fundamentalist evangelic is leader. And they have to then they go and annihilate the other Na'vi. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll watch it. Let's go. Avatar 4, we ran out of ideas. No, they've already got everything already kind of figured out, right? If you there's been some talks about that. I think Kiri is gonna be the seed bearer to take, AWA to Earth to save Earth, right? That's gonna kinda be the whole point. The whole message of Avatar is gonna end with turning Earth into fucking Pandora so it can be saved. That's kind of the whole point of it. Which then would be great because at that point, you could almost make the argument that like AWA could then become something like a xenomorph, right? Like the space jockeys, okay? And then they're sending the space jockeys out. They're going doing all their shit. All right. And then they want to take over the universe. And so eventually humanity's got to rise up and fucking clap them cheeks and push them back. There we go. You want to see snow on Pandora? I think you will. Avatar 4, The Quest for Arrakis. Fuck it. Why not? Let's merge them together. Avatar 4, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be certain, or only way to be sure. I want to make sure I get that quote correctly. I need Jake and Quaritch to go on a road trip to Earth. I kind of want it, dude. I kind of want not. You know what? I don't want Quaritch and Jake. I want Quaritch and Neytiri, because that's when you take two opposing forces and you put them together in a position where they're not going to be able to get away, and close proximity is what it's called, and that's going to be really good for the story. Let's see here. Azteca says, I just want the third Prometheus film to close out the trilogy. That'd be nice. That'd be great. I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with that. All right, because Covenant, I don't hate it, but I haven't had a desire to watch it again in 9 years. It's okay. Whereas Prometheus, man, like the fucking first 3/4 of that movie are fucking amazing. The cinematography alone in Prometheus is fucking cum-worthy. Okay, it's orgasm-inducing cinematography. It was so good. And then just went, phew. Right, oh yeah, by the way, who wrote the third act of Prometheus? Damon Lindelof, who was also one of the writers on Lanterns, but showrunner of Watchmen, which is solid. So there you go. Let's see. We need Ridley Scott cut of Alien Covenant. We do. Yeah. I did actually watch. I was looking around on Reddit, and somebody posted the unrated ending to The Counselor, and holy fuck, that was violent. Like that movie was not good. I saw that one in theaters, and I was like, "Ooh, new Ridley Scott movie. Let's fucking go!" And I wasn't happy with it. Let's see here. Jake Sully will remember he is Alex Mason, and I'll have to remember the numbers. That I don't. What is it? Who is Alex Mason? I can blame that on Damon. Yeah, I can. I can blame a lot on Damon. Event Horizon 2 in the works. I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one there. I haven't seen Leftovers. I've heard it was good. Justin Theroux is a very good actor. I loved him as Mr. House in Fallout Season 2. Oh my God, I finally finished Fallout Season 2. I need to talk about it with somebody. I have questions. I have thoughts. My phone. Where's my phone? It's in my pocket. All right. Sorry. I forgot to turn it onto whatever it's called. Airplane mode. God fucking damn it. Airplane mode, bitch. There we go. All right. Leave that there in case I start getting messages about my kiddo. Because, like I said, they're getting sick. Okay. It's a good season 2. It's a very good season 2. Holy shit. Let's see. The original script of Prometheus was written by John Spaeth. Well, you got to understand that a lot of people in Hollywood, end up starting off the screenplay, and that's not what ends up happening, right? It ends up going to different writers and doing all that kind of other stuff. Unless they're writing it and directing it themselves. And that is something that happens. Like a lot of people, I mean, literally, like if you ever go on like film Twitter or fucking even like film Facebook, you will just find people who just do not understand how like any of the industry operates, like at all. Like the funny thing is these people legitimately think everything that they hear from like a studio or from an actor or from a producer or a writer is 100% truth. These people are media trained to lie to you. They pretend for a living. In many ways, this is that kind of idea, right? It's all that shit. Yeah. Oh God. Wait, you weren't impressed with the first. Do you know anything about the Fallout lore? Because that becomes a big thing. If you know Fallout, you'll love Fallout. I love Fallout. Look at my hoodie. This hoodie, by the way, my girlfriend got me this hoodie for Christmas. She got it from Temu. She also got a couple other Fallout t-shirts from Temu. and they're bad. Like, they're bad. This one is comfy. I like it. But I do not think it's gonna last me more than a year, unfortunately. But you just don't care for the first episode? Okay. You gotta keep going, man. It's kinda like with Andor, for example, right? I think Andor all the way through, start to finish, is fucking amazing. Top tier. But the first couple episodes can be a little bit boring because it's setting the stage, it's setting the tone, it's setting the intention and the expectations. And that's something that I think a lot of people kind of like forget. Now, when the stories that I work on, the ones I've been writing are very pulp minded. They're very pulp coded, right? So there's a lot of escalation. We drop the main character in, we get them right into danger, and we go from there. All right. Mo here says Fallout will last until season 10. I hope. I love it. It's so good. You'll wait till the series ends. You should really watch the first 2 seasons because you have a long wait till the next season anyway. So you might as well at least go through those 16 episodes and like go, okay, cool. And now I'm caught up. Now I can just wait for the next one to come out. So at least that way it's like there's a lot of stuff there that might catch your interest, might not. It's fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. Let's see. Listen to Max Landis talk about how different his Bright script turned out that had nothing to do with race. Oh, was that David Ayer? Was that David Ayer rewriting that and then making that the whole like Elf Lives Matter thing? Because the thing with Bright, when Netflix bought that from Max Landis, it was an interesting story. There was a bit of a bidding war from what I remember happening at the time, right? Because Max Landis was like at the height of his career, and he was like selling scripts constantly. And he sold this script for Bright, the whole franchise, to Netflix for $3 million, which is a lot of money. A lot of times writers don't make that kind of shit, right? For a spec for one. But they wanted to turn it into a thing. So then they ended up, bringing on David Ayer, dropping $90 million on that movie, getting Will Smith, Joel Edgerton, everyone else involved. And, I liked the idea of Bright. I thought Bright was actually pretty solid. I had a lot of fun with it. The biggest problem is where, the Max Landis had the falling out afterward, right? There were some allegations made against him. And, he decided that Netflix, I should say, decided they were going to go another way. They wanted to have David Ayer write the script and direct the movie. And they haven't done it. And it's been 9 years almost. Well, 8 years, a little over 8 years since Bright came out. That came out, I think, in 2017. Or was it 2019 for Bright? I forget. No, I think it would have been 2017. So were the orcs supposed to be blacks or Latinos? The answer to that is yes. Yes. H-Bar says, I liked Lucy in season 2, but overall I was more invested in the ghoul this season. Well, yeah. I mean, and then the next season it's probably going to be more about Maximus, right? I mean, the 3 main characters are each going to get their storyline. Personally, I want to know what's going on with Thaddeus because there's been some theories that I have seen online, and I'm very curious if those theories are going to play out. But the big one is Hank, because I have a feeling, without spoiling anything, I think Hank was faking it. I think he's faking it. But I'm not going to say anything more than that. Think about that. Resonate with that. Ruminate with that one. Thoughts on The Boys final season trailer? I'm excited, man. I will say this, though. What got me about The Boys trailer was what I really liked was seeing the cast from Gen V. I really, really like Gen V. I think Gen V is great. And I love that they're bringing them in for this season and that they're going to use them to take down Homelander. I'm excited. I think The Boys is great. Thank you, Steven, for liking the hat. I'm going to have another one made. This one's not, I picked it because I like the camouflage, but it's not the most comfortable hat. But I really enjoy what they're going to do with it. I want to see how crazy it's going to get. Especially I want to see Billy the Butcher take out Homelander and vice versa. So there's all that. Yeah, no, Gen V is good. Gen V is very good. What I like about Gen V compared to The Boys is that in The Boys, all the boys are like, they're not bad people, but they're not good people. They're not necessarily what you would call good-natured, good-intentioned, outside of maybe Huey and Kimiko. Okay, I'll say about Kimiko as well. All right, Mother's Milk tries, but, and Frenchie don't really give much of a shit. He just needs something to believe in. And maybe the same goes for Mother's Milk, right? But when you get into Gen V, you get all those characters that are by and large good-natured, good-hearted people, minus a couple of them. But even that is something that by the end of Gen V season 2, you're like, things are, like you can kind of see what happens. And oh my God, dude, the villain of season 2 is so goddamn good. So goddamn good. You love Kimiko? Yeah, dude, me too. Me too. Karen Fukunawa. Oh, or yeah, that's her name. Yeah. Yeah, she's hot. Will Garth Enos make a cameo appearance? No, I don't think he's going anywhere near it. Did I pre-order Speed Racer on 4K? I have not done that yet. I have not actually bought any physical media this year. I'm just, I bought the new computer. That was like $1,600. And then I've got everything going on with the economy. Prices are going up. My work hours are kind of iffy. Tips have been shit. Um, you know, and which I get, so I have no control over any of that shit. Thankfully, we're coming into cruise season, so that's going to be a little bit different. So I'm just kind of holding out. I want Speed Racer. I'll wait for a good deal. I don't care about Steelbook, you know what I mean? But I do want it on 4K quite a bit. Have I seen War Machine yet on Netflix? I haven't. No, I heard it was good. But I want to. You'll be buying physical media very soon. I want physical media. I love physical media. I support it, but I haven't even bought Dogma yet. See, well, that's DJ Throggy. I don't even know where the fuck he's been. Homie messages me on Instagram, right? And he goes like, "Hey man, I ordered an extra Dogma Steelbook accidentally. Do you want it?" And I'm all like, "Yeah, like what do you want?" Like, "Yes, I will buy it from you." And then nothing. Right? So I'm at the store and I see fucking Dogma sitting there, but it's not the Steelbooks, it's the regular. And you guys know I don't care about Steelbook shit. Okay. But I'm like looking at it going like, you know what? If I can get my hands on the fucking Steelbook, then I'll just do the Steelbook. I'll hold off and I'll get that then. And then I go back to Walmart yesterday and it's all gone. And then, it all cycled out and they're not going to restock it because this is Walmart and they don't give a fuck. So I was just a little bit ticked off about that because I haven't heard from Throggy in a while now. So I have no idea. No Man of Steel Steelbook. No, I don't buy Steelbooks if I don't have to. All right. I don't buy Steelbooks if I do not fucking have to. I do not like them. I think they are pointless. I do. I love physical media. All right. I love physical media, but the media part is more important to me than some fucking cheap ass tin that can scratch or dent or break or whatever. I want the disc. I want it to work and I want the movie. That's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for what I'm putting into my TV, not what I'm putting on my shelf, because I already know the value of what I'm putting on my shelf. I don't need to look at it and then be like, yeah, I can fucking jerk off to that Steelbook cover. Some of them are nice. Don't get me wrong. Very nice. Okay. But I don't care for them. Unless like there's no other option, right? Like, just because it's right here. Okay. I got Cutthroat Island, Steelbook. Why? Because that's the only option. But see, Small Soldiers, for example, they dropped that on Steelbook. Paramount did. And then they finally put out a regular. So I got to go get the regular when it goes on sale. HWAD here says, I try to buy four and 4K since they don't ever come scratched like us discs made in Mexico. Are the US discs? Yeah. I mean, that can be a problem. Yeah, I know. But you also then got to pay tariffs as well. So that's a lot of fucking money right now, too. Ted season 2 is very fucking good and funny as hell. Seth needs to ditch Family Guy already. He already has. He has ditched Family Guy. He has ditched American Dad. He just goes in, he just like does the voices, and that's it. He's been working on other shit for years. I will agree with you though about Ted season 2. I am currently up to episode 5, I think. And it's really good. Am I gonna go see Project Hail Mary? Probably not. Maybe I will. I'm not going to make any promises. I'll watch it when it comes out on digital. That's kind of where I'm at. And I say that because like I'm waiting for the movie to fail. Let me explain why I'm waiting for the movie to fail. It's not that I think the movie's going to be bad. I actually think it's going to be quite good. For one, I love The Martian. Okay, Andy Weir wrote that story. Drew Goddard wrote that screenplay. Drew Goddard wrote this screenplay. Andy Weir wrote the story. Okay, so cool, right? You got Phil Lord, you got Chris Miller. Love those guys. All right, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is top tier animation. Okay, that movie is fantastic, infinitely rewatchable. 21, 22 Jump Street, great films. All right, Spider-Verse movies are awesome. They did a great job producing those things. Okay. I think they're gonna be good in the directing. Greg Fraser, the DP who did The Batman and The Mandalorian season 1 and Dune part 1 and part 2, I think, and part 3, but he's not doing The Batman part 2. That dude is an amazing cinematographer. So it's got talent behind the camera, behind the story, in front of the camera, all of that shit that I like. But there's something about this marketing campaign that is not interesting to me. It's not interesting to me. And the more I look at it, the more I'm starting to realize and starting to really ask myself, is Ryan Gosling a leading man? And more importantly, is Ryan Gosling even that good of an actor? Now, I don't think he's a bad actor. I was watching SNL clips today, and I'm just like, yeah, he's just kind of, yeah, okay. Like he's good in some stuff. Absolutely. He was good as Ken, but Ken was, kind of a brain dead masculine character, right? But insecure, in his masculinity, all that kind of shit, trying to be masculine, overtly masculine, kind of, maybe alpha bro type shit. Okay. And it worked for that. And he did really well in that role, but that role was also not the lead. And then I think back to like, even like Blade Runner 2049, he was good, but he was kind of like, again, Harrison Ford kind of stole the show on that one. Go and look at The Nice Guys. He was good, but Russell Crowe was better. You know what I mean? It's like The Fall Guy. I thought Fall Guy was great, but he was backed up by Emily Blunt and their great chemistry. And she's fantastic. And they were able to work on each other really well. And he was able to kind of bring that golly shucks everyman energy to that. And it was a really fine, funny ass movie. But again, it's like it just has those troubles. Is Ryan Gosling a man? Yes, he is a man. He's too stoic to read and Drive or Beyond the Pines. Yeah, Drive is a one-time watch for me. I did not think Drive was as good as everyone made it out to be. I'm not saying like he was fine for what he was trying to do, but it just wasn't as good of a performance for me because he didn't really do anything in there. I mean, the part when he was like, he basically just kind of stood around and looked angry. It's been a while since I've seen it. No, they did not do Game Night. The guys who did Dungeons and Dragons did Game Night, not Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So, and here's the thing. I'm not saying he's like the worst actor in the world. He's not even a bad actor. He's quite a good actor, but actors need to know their lane. Actors need to understand their lane. If I was going to be an actor, could I be like a lead? No. Like depending on the like subject, maybe, but probably not. No. Could I do comedic side like character? Yeah. Could I do like, that kind of stuff? Absolutely. Small little bits here, background shit, absolutely. But I know my place. Hollywood has a tendency of trying to like shove stars down people's throats. The reason why they'll go back to Ryan Gosling is because Gosling is he's a safe bet. Okay. He's a safe bet. He's a slightly less charismatic. Well, I say considerably less charismatic version of Ryan Reynolds. Matt Jarbo was Kevin Smith. Well, that one I could do. They did a Kevin Smith biopic, man. I could totally fucking do it. Art films he soars, but look at the art films that he is in. It's it is what it is, right? So it's kind of like, it's like, I was doing a comic actually. There's a Scott and Frank comic about Ryan Gosling I put out the other day. And and one of the questions in there was like, how long until Hollywood forces him into a Marvel movie? And then like the punchline is like, well, he stars in Star Wars Starfighter next. And then the last chat bubble says, close enough. Cause it's true. Okay. Like Hollywood is going to move Ryan Gosling into that category and keep him there for big budget stuff. This is his last attempt to push a movie like Project Hail Mary. And I don't think he's bringing enough Ken energy to it. Right? Part of the Barbie phenomenon was the Ken energy, right? Like I'm Kenough, got Ken energy. Okay, there's branding, there's memeing. There's all did that kind of stuff, right? He did outshine Barbie in the Barbie movie. He had better material to work with. And he was able to bounce off of her, never mind bounce off all the other guys who were there. But he also played an idiot. So like the ground floor for the acting was not high. He just had to emote in the right spots. In your biopic, Boulder, the Mad Jarbo story, who should play Donovan and Brandon? I don't know. God, Brandon's gone away, so we don't need to make fun of him. But Donovan is still absolutely around. So there's that. But anyway, it's just no, Ryan again, I don't want to I'm not knocking Ryan Gosling as an actor, but I'm just pointing out that there are it's kind of like Sam Worthington, right? Like I like him as Jake Sully. He was good as Perseus in those movies. But he's kind of had trouble finding his roles after that. You know what I mean? Like he went like in between Avatar 1 and Avatar 2, his career did not take off. His career was like doing like DTV stuff, streaming stuff. I think he did like a what's it called? The fucking Unabomber limited series for like IDTV, right? Homie stars in the highest grossing movie of all time. Okay. Highest grossing movie of all time. This homie is in. And yet he's just getting IDTV limited miniseries. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, we don't live in an age of fucking movie stars. What is this? Wait, hold on. What? Hold on. Enosh is getting a third divorce. Ha ha ha. They both settled, and honestly, Enosh is a bloated liar and everything, right? Well, okay. Well, not that I want to derail entirely there. For one, Enosh recently blocked me on Facebook because I pointed out that we're both mutual friends with Sean O'Rourke. And Enosh was basically trying to make it out like Trump's good. And I was like, Trump is, Enosh is Russia pilled, So he blocked me. So I have no idea what's going on. Isn't he still with that other girl that doesn't entirely not look like his ex-wife that he started dating like right away? I don't even know. I don't even know what you heard here. Enoch is cool. I mean, Enoch might be cool, but Enoch is a bitch. He's in the greatest Call of Duty ever, so who cares? Who gives a fuck about Call of Duty? Jesus. I don't know, H. Barth. I can't go look. You're gonna have to go look on Facebook and message me. Is he MAGA? He's Christian, and that's kind of enough. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. What are my thoughts on Timothy Chalamet and his recent comments? Yeah, he's right. The backlash from people who are upset about that make no sense to me. He's entirely correct about that, right? It's ballet and opera are not don't get me wrong, like people enjoy them. Some people enjoy them, but when's the last time you even thought about an opera? When's the last time you even wanted to go see a ballet? Just in general. Not even like just because right now, think about that shit, but like really just in general. When is the last time you've given a fuck, right? What did he say? Timothy Chalamet basically said that like no one cares about ballet and opera. It's entirely true. You're playing past Call of Duty and it's not bad. Call of Duty games, I'm not saying all Call of Duty games are bad. Okay. There's a lot of them that are not great. Okay. You'll see you're going to see the Dracula ballet in September. That can be interesting. Okay. I'm not saying don't like ballet, but it's also not something you go to all the time, Now, even Broadway, like Broadway itself, that's shrinking. Multiple people who work on Broadway have come out and said like it's losing money. People aren't going. And it's like potentially have you just like outpriced yourself? Have you created such an industry that is built around the concept of the it's only important as to how much money it makes? You know? Wait, hold on. You're agreeing with the little bastard. He's on the same level as Ryan Gosling. He's shit. Don't let Dune get in the way. I'm not saying I'm not what I am I I'm just saying he was right with what he said about that shit. Anyway, Shane, oh my god. Look, Enosh was wrong about a lot and he lied about people trolling him. He started the drama with Matt and RJ. Remember? Yeah, no. I don't even really know what's going on here. World at War is dark as fuck. Isn't that one? That's World War II, isn't it? Isn't that still the I don't I Look, here's the thing, man. I don't care about Enosh. I'm sorry. All right, what up, Tony? I don't care about Enosh. I don't give a shit. Like, the dude he's not lying to Snyder fans anymore. He's not manufacturing drama. He's not out there making comments about people who are like uber elite hacksaws that are breaking into Discord servers and Twitter DMs and like giving all this information, which is what he was saying was happening. Besides, whenever he went away, his buddy that did all that shit also disappeared, which I thought was kind of interesting, and that guy's from Portland. I don't live far from Portland. I'd like to, go and like get a beer and be like, hey, fill me in on this shit. All right. Yeah, he lied to Snyder fans. So you got to understand. Okay. Not that I want to derail on this one, but I'll just give you a quick little history lesson. So, Poindexter Lounge, Enosh, you know, realized that he could get attention by predominantly trying to preach, if you will, to Snyder fans. And so one of the things he would do is, this is following the release of Justice League and that, which has been almost 5 years now, and everything, and all that stuff. He has come out and he kept saying stuff like, like, don't think it's over yet. Right. And everyone's like, no, it's kind of over. It's kind of done. It's kind of over. And he'd go like, you don't know what I know. Right. You don't know what I know. And H bars can back that up there. Right. H bars can always back that up. He was absolutely there with me for that one. And so when I called him out for that, when I did, I was like, dude, you're fucking giving people false hope, man. Which is entirely what a preacher would do. That's the thing I don't like, is he more or less was trying to, like, proselytize, if I'm even saying that correctly, to the congregation of Snyder fans who were desperate for answers. And he uses that as a way to more or less groom these people into becoming acolytes of his, because they think he's got the inside track. And if there's one thing that the Snyder fandom has constantly fallen victim to, are people who claim to have the inside track. And that's always been my biggest complaint when it comes to the Snyder fandom, is like the desperation to believe that more is happening, right? It's like, it's just the worst machinations that can come out of the fandom. Rather than looking at things logically, rationally, using data points that we have from past events to kind of explain things, it ends up becoming this, like, you don't know what I know. And that ended up being something that kind of broke our friendship, is because of that. And so then when I called him out on that, he would say stuff like, well, that's not what I said. What I said was, you don't know what you don't know. And I'm like, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. And he'd go, no, that's what I said. I said, he said, he would go, no, I just said, you don't know what you don't know. And I'm all like, no, that's not what you said. And there was a lot of people that he would say that, Droger, you absolutely would say this, right? Like there's no reason for me to get mad at him the same way I got mad at Mikey Sutton. When it's like, look, if you wanted to continue, like I wanted to continue, well, I'm fine with fucking speculating about that shit. But it's when you go out there and you go out there and you constantly sit there and be like, well, guys, it's going to continue. It's going to happen. It's going to be restored. Have faith. Don't trust what everyone else is telling you, who actually kind of maybe has an understanding of the industry. Listen to me, because I back up your thoughts and your feelings. I provide you with that cognitive dissonance. I confirm your biases. All of those things you want, the feeling you want, I will give it to you. That's what he was doing. And that's the problem that I had with it. And that's ultimately what ended up really hurting the friendship, was that shit, because he would do that, like, all the time, and then I think so then, but there's also other parts of that as well. So Enosh wasn't working. He had, okay, this is where it gets kind of funny. When I first met him, he worked at a church. Okay. And he worked, I think, like in like the music side of the church. Okay. Doing like the gospel shit. Okay, cool. And then he lost that job, according to him, because they had hired a new guy in charge, and that guy and Enosh didn't get along, and whatever. Enosh lost his job. So then he went to another church. But in order to get the job at the other church, this is what cracks me up. He had to change his religion. He had to change the denomination of the religion. Doesn't really seem like that works, does it? Right? You're gonna be like, "Well, I mean, ah, God, I guess I gotta go over here and change what, I gotta change my belief structure. Oh, man, I went from a Protestant to, like, an Episcopalian. Fuck. Jesus shit." You know what I mean? And that is part of that. He changed his denomination to go work at another church. That's what happened. And then he ended up losing that job as well. And I forget why. I don't know if that was I think the first one was tied to his YouTube channel, and maybe the second one was, I forget. Um, yes, he changed his denomination. So you have the umbrella of Christianity, and then underneath it, he changed his denomination to go work at this other church. That's what he did. And so then I think what happened was he was unemployed. I think he was desperate for money because like his wife, now ex-wife, was working, and he would stream until like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, his time, and maybe go nap on the couch for like an hour, get up and then do his day and shit. Is a lounge insider. I was around for all this. Fuck, dude. But I was out there doing like like fucking Uber Eats and shit, DoorDash and shit. And I'd come home and I'd stream. And I made more money streaming than I did on Uber Eats and DoorDash, but I still needed that instant cash versus what I got doing this. And it was during COVID where everyone had that fucking nice, fat, sweet COVID money. So they were just like throwing supers and shit. Then in 2023, everything changed because of the writer strike and the actor strike, and inflation shot through the roof. So both this streaming every day got to be no money coming in, and it's not sustainable if there's no money coming in. Doing it once a week is fine or twice a week is fine, but it's not a stable job if there's nothing coming in. And then Uber was also having trouble, so I had to go find something else, and I found my job, and I've been there now for 2.5 years, and I like it. Anyway, my whole point is that with Enosh, I think he was struggling, and I think he realized that the more he would get would come from the Snyder fans that would pay him to have him tell them that they're not wrong in their beliefs, and to comfort them, and to counsel them, and to do pretty much everything he would do as a pastor, but for a fucking movie fandom. Like, that's kind of, in my mind, what he would do. And so what happened, yeah, here we go. H. Bart says here, Enosh tried to turn me against Jarbo multiple times. That's very true. He was trying to do that because I'm just sitting there going like, bro, I don't get what you're trying to do right here, man. And it's just like, but no, he would go to H. Bart's because what it was is H. Bart's was like, heavy donator, right? To both me and to Enosh, but I think more to me. And Enosh didn't like that. Like, this is true. H. Bart's 21st birthday, it's like 5 years ago. Enosh lives in the same state, drove like 2 hours and some change to go to H. Bart's 21st birthday party. Okay. And then bring him Arby's, because the running gag between H. Bart's and myself would be that because I delivered food, H. Bart's won at Arby's. So it's like, that's kind of the whole point, right? Like, I just think it's kind of funny. He tried to convert H. Bart's to Enoshism, kind of. So am I saying he started the Snyder cult? No. He wanted to capitalize off of it. Drogo here says, Enosh wasn't always honest with me. I just wish he would tell me what he thought about me and whether I could come on streams or not. I mean, I think it depends that when it comes to people coming on streams, it's kind of like sometimes you gel with the person, sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? It's like, I really like having Chris on or Fourth on, or like Blargan on, some people more than others, just because it's like the conversations I know that they're going to be fun. We can amp them up. We can get into some deep shit. Sometimes, like when you have like other people, like if you have a panel with too many people, like for example, CJH, if I'm talking with CJH on my own, it's fine. I like talking to CJH. CJH on a panel with other people, not good. And I think even he knows that. All right. But like sometimes, you got to you have some personalities that work well. I have an overbearing personality, I'll admit. So if I go on a stream, like I'm going to try to be funny. I'm going to try to be entertaining. I'm not just going to sit there and not say anything. But then that can come across also as, a little bit too much, which I get, so I'm like that. He tried to work with Andy, and he's always intimidated by Matt. I don't think he tried to work with Andy, but I know he got mad at Andy over the whole Ray Fisher thing because we were calling him like, Enoch was defending Ray Fisher because he thinks, I think, there was the whole thing about Jody's Corner saying that Ray Fisher was gay Fisher. It's kind of funny, stupid, childish shit, right? And then Enoch got real mad about that. Let's see, command unit here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says work is work, Matt. You don't need to change your belief to work at a church. The priests would find it an interesting opportunity to convert, if anything. I've been not saying you're wrong, but in this case, he outright said he had to change his denomination in order to go work at this other church. Those are his words. Those were my words. Those were his words back then. Oh yeah, H. Bartz was getting a statue. That's right. H. Bartz, that's right, was part of, what is it, the Poindexter, what was it? Not the Pantheon. That was the other thing. What was it? I forget what it was called. But yeah, the very first person that was part of this like uber elite class of like Poindexter Lounge supporters was H. Bartz. And he did that because he was trying to get him to come over there more often. Fourth here says, I missed Droga movie reviews. Well, there you go. Droga, start doing some movie reviews, right? Fourth will watch you. Matt Goons groans when I turn up. I do. I like Mo, but I do. It is true. It's true. I miss those days. The chaos with Kryborg. What was the Kryborg thing? I forget. Remember the epic Wayne T. Carr stream on Poindexter Lounge? No. Oh my God. Everyone got so mad at me over Wayne T. Carr because I said that people are like, oh, he's Green Lantern. He's Green Lantern. I'm like, he's not Green Lantern. You guys have never even seen him act. So how do you know he's Green Lantern? Well, Zach chose him. No. Zach chose him because he needed someone that kind of fit the Jon Stewart look. And Ray Fisher recommended his buddy, Wayne T. Carr. And even Wayne T. Carr has said that, like, yeah, he wasn't Green Lantern, but working with Zack Snyder did open some doors for him. So that was good. That was actually really good. I was glad for Wayne T. Carr because he always seemed like a really, really nice guy. He's taking money from fans and saying he's coming back, but is that wrong? Is he taking money from fans? I don't know what he's up to. I've heard rumors that he stole money from his church, man. I got no idea. If there is evidence of impropriety, especially with like theft of church funds, then contact the local Flint Police Department and file a complaint and let them handle it. Otherwise, I ain't getting involved because I got no dog in that fight. Never mind the fact that I live in Washington, not Flint, Michigan, and there's no way for me to verify anything that's said, nor do I want to put myself in a position of potentially being, in like legal hot water. Can anyone find the Wayne T. Carr? Dude, you got to go back and look. But like, it would be back in 2022, 2023, I think. To this day, I'm the only inductee. Yeah, you are in the hall. That's right. Right. It was the Poindexter Lounge Hall of Fame. You were right. That Green Lantern, right on that Green Lantern, Zack Snyder shit. What about? Oh yeah. I like, you guys got to understand, man. It's not like I don't try to be a dick about this shit. I just have a way of speaking that makes it sound like I'm a dick. And it's just kind of the way I am. Let's see, Mo here for $2. Thank you. Matt groans, but it's all in good fun. I mean, it's fun. No, the thing is, I like Mo. We talk off stream. Right? We DM each other. Like, I like Mo. I have nothing against Mo. He's a good dude. But he comes on sometimes. And what I hate, and this is a pet peeve of mine, is when like I come on when I drop the link, people come on in. And they come on in and they don't have anything prepared that they want to talk about or engage in what I'm talking about. And so then it ends up turning into this kind of like, well, I mean, like, throws me off. So I don't do it as much anymore. And it's not anything personally against anybody. It's just like, I've got my own fucking issues with that shit. What else did I miss here? Let me see here. Let's see. H Bar says, I like coming on streams, but I prefer having something to watch later on. Yeah, well, Matt doesn't like it when I push him towards anime. It's not for me, buddy. You're gonna have to catch me at the right time. Okay. Mo, the ultimate derailer. That is true. That is very true. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, I always kind of look at it like maybe some sport. You guys like sports, right? So we can use some sports metaphors, like like the Winter Olympics are going on right now. So I think you guys are all kind of on that, right? When Mo comes on and derails, it annoys me like I'm watching figure skating because what the fuck, right? Like it's there, it's flashy. Mo's not flashy, but he's there, and you're like, but why? Why? Why figure skating? Oh no, you can fucking spin in a loop. Ooh, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff, right? No, but bobsledding, that's the shit. You wonder what happened to Lunga. As far as I know, I think he's still around, but he got into like D&D and shit. He was doing D&D for a while, and I think like good for him. Wait, let me check this out. Right, Darth Lunga. What is he doing? Wow. Did you know that Darth Lunga has an IMDb page? Okay, so unless he hasn't posted anything since 2025 September. And yeah, and it's really about Superman stuff. Yeah, he's just kind of dipped out. But he's got okay, well does he have other okay, he's got other accounts. Let's see. I'm just looking at this here. Okay, he hasn't posted on those in a while either. Okay. What about his YouTube channel? He hasn't posted on YouTube in 2 years. Oh, nope, not true. He posted D&D from 8 months ago. So that's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing. Did it freeze again? Did it freeze? Okay. What up, Bell? How you doing? Let's see here. Otis, thank you for the 5. Says, not all anime is good, but the right one is never recommended to you. I feel that's the issue. I think like it depends on what I'm into. I like darker, more violent shit. Also, I like stupider, hornier stuff too. But I always find it odd to watch anime and the hornier shit because like I just associate it so much with like child stuff, that it just gets to be a little creepy for me. Um, where is RJ? RJ is still around. Okay, so if it's freezing, I don't know what the hell's going on. It might just be because I don't have enough light and it's just having trouble. Snorlax is in South Korea. No, he's not. No, I didn't open up a new page. I just switched over to a new tab. That might have been the problem. Let me see. I'm closing out some stuff now. Maybe that'll help out. New computer, but still fucking StreamYard will takes a lot of resources. Okay, let's see. No, as far as I know, I haven't checked on RJ because I don't care, but he's still doing his K-pop Demon Hunter do not interact with minor stuff, which is weird because he's a teacher and he interacts with minors every day. I mean, maybe that's just a safety net, right? It's all like, yeah, no, guys. I mean, I'm a teacher, but when I'm offline, I'm offline. When I'm at school, I'm doing my own thing. Okay. For some reason, Pornhub is down in Australia. Not that I watch it or anything. Whoa, man, listen, that's a national fucking emergency. Okay. That's a national fucking emergency. If Pornhub is down in your country, have the terrorists won? That becomes my question. Have they taken over your government? Let's see. RJ works in the mines. He would lose weight. He's in his K-pop Demon Hunters era Slay Queen kind of, yeah. Do not interact with minors to have come home. What that means is we talked about this a while back, but like on RJ's Twitter, he's got that whole little thing of like DNI, like under 18 DNI, right? You go to it, like he's got like one of those like Spark pages or whatever it is, and it's got the same thing there. And you're like, but you're doing a fucking K-pop Demon Hunter fandom stanny sort of thing. And you don't want to interact with minors. This is a PG rated movie that doesn't have any kind of sexuality thrust on anybody in the film. No, they don't even kiss if I remember correctly. They love each other, but it's like a they don't ever act on it, right? Like Rumi fucking never does it. Zoe never does it. I mean, as much as it'd be fun to watch them finger blast each other, like that doesn't happen in the fucking. So it's like, it's what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? And that's kind of the thing I don't get about that. It's like, why are you trying to like hide from your fan base? Your fan base, but that fan base, what's happening in that fan base to make you not want to do that? It's a little weird. A little creepy. He loved the movie. Go look at his fucking Twitter account, dude. Go look at his Twitter account. RJ is trying to turn kid stuff into sexual shit. I don't know about that. But to me, when I see that like under 18 do not interact thing, it's kind of crazy. Pornhub now has ISIS beheading videos. I mean, if that's what you're fucking into. But that's Jesus. I mean, to be fair, people will come to anything, but that's extreme. That's extreme. It's mainly because he RT's poly fan art with the girls making them lesbos and so. Oh, yeah, okay. Weird shit, dude. I'll pay you $5 per episode of anime. Okay, we'll talk. That's crazy. Are we serious about RJ? Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Bell, we are. Why would I lie about it? I'll pay 10 for anime? You guys are crazy. I'm surprised you guys aren't going like, watch wrestling, bitch. Get into that shit, motherfucker. I'll buy that for $1. Holy crap, that's pretty fucking funny, guys. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy, I swear. I just checked. He's in mini Resident Evil phase. Resident Evil 9 is amazing. Nice. Yeah, no, I do want to play. Well, I haven't played Resident Evil 7 or 8, so, I'm behind on so much shit, you guys. But, like, I mean, I finally caught up on Fallout, and I need to finish up Ted. And I want to go through the Scream movies. But I did. What did I watch? Watched Addams Family 2, the animated film. I got kids, dude. I got kids. Both of them are sick. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching fucking kids movies. I can't sit there and be like, all right, you guys watch this shit. I'm gonna go watch some extreme shit. Watch One Piece that has almost 1,000 episodes. Yeah, that will happen. Ted is very good. Yes, it's very good. Let's see. Matt, anime for kids is a thing, but it usually doesn't get ported to the West. I personally recommend Doraemon. It's a kids anime. I'm not like worried about like it's just I'm making more jokes about it than anything else, right? Like I'm making more jokes about it. Like I don't think that if you watch anime, you're like a gooner or you're like into CP or shit. But there are some weird motherfuckers. Okay, it's the same thing with the furry community. There are some weird motherfuckers. All right, and they do make a bad name for everybody else, right? But then I get it. HWAD here says I sent a pic in DM pic, huh? Let me see here. I got a DM pic. Okay. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I can't show that on screen, but I'll take a look at that later. Holy shit. Oh man. Let's see here. One Piece is torture. Yeah. I guess. I don't know, man. It's kind of like man, what was I thinking about? Like I was watching a One Piece ad because I think it comes back like tomorrow, right? Like it should be dropping here any minute now. There's that one redhead chick on One Piece. And she kind of reminds me of that one ice skater, that Alyssa Liu, right? And then I'm like, she kind of reminds me of that same kind of attitude, but also kind of mid, and you're like, okay, I don't know if that's the right casting, because I've been seeing like the Alyssa Liu everywhere, and I'm just like, but she's kind of mid, like she's also just like 20. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, let the girl be a girl, kind of weird. It's probably a tab issue. I have too many tabs open. Maybe. Let me close out some tabs. All right. Okay. I do have a lot of tabs open. Yeah. Also, I need to probably restart my computer. I froze when I go to another tab. Okay, that's kind of the problem, right? Wait until the new One Piece series comes out. That fixes the pacing issue. Well, yeah. I know there's going to be the new season. And I do hear that it's good. close my X videos tabs. I don't slum it on X videos all the time. All right. Don't you be judging me. What's the topic? Oh. Oh, yeah, right. I'm an insider. Here, check this out. There we go. Oh, let me get this back up here. So there was an article the other day that came up when we get yeah, no, I'm glad you're here, Bill. Glad you're here. Okay, so here's this article that popped up on comicbookmovie.com. Speculation mounts that James Gunn could leave DC Studios in the wake of the Warner Brother Discovery Paramount deal. Which, by the way, there's another thing that came. This is like last week, but there's another report that I saw come out today. I saw the headline for that said that it's entirely possible that the Paramount deal will fail because the Paramount deal, they're realizing that they overpaid for the that they overpaid for everything. And I don't know if that's going to kill it or not, but they really, really, really want it. Okay, so here we go. E-porner is better. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right. So this article here, okay, from a guy named Mark Cassidy. Thank you, Mark. Okay, it says here, could James Gunn step away as DC Studios co-CEO in the wake of the announcement that Paramount Skydance will soon take ownership of Warner Bros. Discovery? Gunn has previously made it clear that his contract would remain secure regardless of the outcome. This was back when Netflix seemed likely to come out on top, and Paramount's David Ellison had assured that everything will continue to operate as normal when it comes to Warner Brothers' theatrical output. That doesn't mean that Gunn will still want to be associated with the studio under the Paramount banner, however. Speculation is mounting that Gunn could decide to step down from his current position once he has completed work on Man of Tomorrow. Here's what John Campea had to say, because, woo, fucking Campea, baby. Woo. Anyway, so this is what John Campea says. I am 100% sure, because it's Campea, that before the end of the year, James Gunn is going to go to David Zaslav and say, it's been nice, but there's no way I'm working with those guys. So can you please let me out of my contract? And I think David Zaslav will let him out of his contract. I think he's going to end up back at Marvel, and he'll become Kevin Feige's heir apparent to take over Marvel after Kevin Feige finally goes. That's what I think is going to happen. That's the roadmap I see happening here. And to be fair, that's, you know what? I'm not going to sit there and say that it's not a decent roadmap because it's a decent roadmap. That could be a thing, right? Gunn is progressive. He is openly, very much progressive. Doesn't want to deal with any of that shit. Okay. And so then it comes over here. This is God, the lighting back and forth is crazy. So then it comes down here and it goes like, it says Hollywood After Dark podcast host Matt Jarbo believes the same. Because I'm a Hollywood insider, folks. My speculative shit posts do well on Twitter. Although, I mean, generally speaking, I'm pretty accurate, usually, the dumb shit that I say. So here's the thing. This is the tweet. Okay. It's very small. Very small here. All right. So here's what I said. I could see James Gunn quitting DC Studios once the merger is guaranteed to happen. It's going to take some time, make no mistake, but I can see him shooting Man of Tomorrow and then calling it a day after that. I mean, for 2027, we've got that, and we've got the Batman Part 2, but that might even be pushed back even more to make it look better for Paramount's quarterly earnings because that's a guaranteed moneymaker, more so than Man of Tomorrow. In fact, any Superman is never going to earn as much as a Batman movie. Now, do I know if this is going to happen? No, I don't. Do I think that this could happen? Yes, I do. Okay, then in the next tweet here, I say, one thing you have to remember about the way Hollywood operates is that when there's a new owner of a property, they want to do it with their team rather than relying on other people. When have you ever heard of a merger happening where they kept people on board because they were doing well? Peter Rice was abruptly fired as chairman of Disney General Entertainment Content, which included the former 20th Century Fox television assets, by Bob Chapek in June of 2022, after transitioning from Fox to Disney following the 2019 acquisition. Rice was dismissed in a brief meeting because Chapek deemed him a poor cultural fit and not aligned with the new restructured company strategy. That's my whole point, is that when you have these mergers and you have these new CEOs and all of this redundance, I'm better than Nerdrotic. I've never dealt meth to children. So yes, I am better than Nerdrotic. I have never, ever, ever dealt meth to people. I don't know if anything that I've done has ever maybe potentially led to the direct death of any person because of a drug overdose. I've never, ever, ever handled meth in my entire life. And I've only touched cocaine once in a bag to smell it, not sniff it. Hollywood Insider looks inside, lives near Portland. I mean, I'm closer to Seattle, but yeah, basically, basically, it's just like whatever. Zaslav isn't going to Paramount with WB, is he? No, he's not. He's going to sell and dip. And honestly, it would be better for him to have the deal fall through with Paramount, split that in to two different companies, which is what he wants to do. Sell them both off, make a lot more fucking money. But he's going to make a lot of money off of this. David Ellison looks like a Costco manager. No, Costco cares about its employees. He's more like a Walmart manager. All right. Anyway, that's kind of what was going on with that one right there. So, yeah, you just had a whole bunch of like this article, and I mentioned in it for some reason because I don't know, because I agreed with Gampia. It's so weird. I mean, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate everything. But I like talking movies. I like all that kind of shit. I mean, I'll tell you who I'm not is a critical dumbass drinker. I'll tell you guys that. Check this out. So Critical Drinker posted this yesterday that he is currently at a Project Hail Mary premiere. Right? Just hanging out, you guys. Just hanging out. I mean, it's not that my forehead is going to be where they project the movie, but I'm just hanging out. Project Hail Mary. So it was like, why did they invite him? This guy hates everything. All right. But a lot of people have kind of been calling him out, so I find it to be kind of funny because I do have a feeling that eventually his fan base, because you guys got to understand real quick, the fan base for these guys, all right, wants them to shit on Hollywood all the time, never stop, right? Always shit on Hollywood. What these guys want are to be tastemakers at the table. They want to be brought into the meetings and to represent the anti-woke side of things, right? That they want to be in it. They want power. Yes, the critical grifter is a shill. That is true. But isn't Drinker a PDF? Like, I don't know. Who made the okay, hold on. Who made the thing about the insider? Hold on. Okay. Look down here. Several insiders right there. Their words. They should have invited me. This was also like in London. And I would love to go to those kind of things. I'd love to go to a premiere and see a movie. I just want to be able to see the movie. And whatever. I think that's all I really care about. See it, give my thoughts on it, whatever. I mean, like, look, you guys know me well enough to know that I tend to go into these things wanting to be entertained and then finding myself entertained. He needs to shave that beard so he can finally see the weak chin. I mean, he's British, so we just know that he has a weak chin. I hate his fucking voice. He always sounds like he has food in his mouth. Well, it's a persona, right? That's the thing, with that, a lot of it is just like I always think, I can't even do it correctly. It's very nasally. I'd have to watch a few of his videos to kind of like nail down the idea of it. But I don't want to do that because I value my time. You know what I mean? I value my time. I value my time, which is why I fucking get into fucking Twitter wars with Donovan. Oh, by the way, Donovan has a new name. We're calling him Dinocchio now because he wants to be a real boy. He's British. Yeah. I thought someone like Donovan was saying that you were an insider. No. He'll get real mad at that. Let me check here. Has he, because he absolutely stalks everything that I do. So let me see. If he has said anything here, I gotta go find him real quick. Probably not. But anyway, it's really, really, really funny to me, how much of a boy that he is. And so yeah, we call him Pinocchio now. Donovan likes wearing women's underwear. I don't know. I mean, listen, when you don't have a father in your life and you live with a crazy mom, you might start taking on some of those, like Norman Bates, right? Like Norman Bates, he started dressing up like his mother. And I'm pretty sure if she wouldn't have, been so hard on him for masturbating, he probably wouldn't have murdered her and then dressed up as her and then got sexual gratification from killing other people while dressed as her. Now, I'm not saying that Pinocchio is going to murder his mother, put on her clothes, and then go on a killing spree. I can't say if this is going to happen. All I can say is that I hope it doesn't happen. Uh, no, it's no Pinocchio, D-I-N, like Pinocchio with a D. Oh, is a Shrek reference? Okay. What was the Shrek reference? Oh, right, from Shrek 2. Yeah, in the jail cell. Okay. I'll tell you this though, man, the Shrek movies are, like, better than a lot of Pixar films. More rewatchable. Some people have weird kinks. Yep. Yep. I can honestly say I don't have any that I'll talk about publicly. I'm vanilla as shit. Those eye sockets were probably put to use by Norman Bates. I'm pretty sure he also probably made himself some extra holes. So there's that. Anyway, yeah, what's going on here? What else we got? I was just gonna go live to talk for a little bit here. I don't think I'm gonna be on for much longer, maybe like another 20 minutes. I didn't have a dad, and yes, my mom is a crazy cunt, but motherfuckers, I'm normal and try to save as much money as I can to get out. No, 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 I get you, dude. You're not crazy. Matt's kink is older women, gilfs. It's not I do like older women, that is true. I do. I do. I do. You know what they say, the older the berry, the sweeter the juice, right? No, wait, sorry, that's the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Uh, but I do. I happen to enjoy, women that are, I don't wanna say old, but, like, mature. I just have a thing for that, yeah. Like, that's the whole thing, it's like, I don't have, like, any attraction to, like, younger looking people, you know? Not for me. You know, so anyway, uh, there we go, vintage, right? 1970s Bush type shit. I'm kidding. Um, no, I just that's kind of how I've always the fresher the mayo, the better yeah, 50 plus. I'm 44. I turned 44 in 16 days, Bell. So like I'm talking around like my age. Which I guess in porn years would make them, geriatric. But yeah, you want conservative women. I just think that conservative women are kind of hotter than a lot of the liberal women. That's all. I don't know. Maybe it's like a I can change them sort of kink. Be all like, I'm gonna show you what it's like to want to give out fucking universal health care, tuition free education. Oh yeah, pathway to citizenship. Probably shouldn't have been on camera for that one, but oh well. Let's see here. It's called the Granny Chasers. I'm not into like granny chasers. That's kind of weird. Let's see here. I think Ali Larder looks older. Well, looks yeah, she does. No, she does. Yeah, for Landman. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. There it is. Same Matt. Why do you think I love Jamie Lee Curtis? Well, that and she's my favorite actress. Yeah, no, she's good. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is great. Great actress. Still very, very attractive, vibrant woman. Let's see. There's Matt's kink MAGA woman. No, no. I mean, no, no. Matt wants to turn Melanie Mack She got remarried and Quarter Pounder was having a giant crisis about it. I heard she got married. I don't know any of the details. I just hope that there was no butter involved. Let's see here. Looks better older. That's rare for some women. I think it's more like of a distinguished sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I look better older than I did at 18, but then again, like, I take better care of myself now than I did at 18. I was a butterball motherfucker back then. I'm still a big dude, but like, and this is a 3X hoodie my girlfriend got me from Temu. It's comfortable, which is why I wear it, but I look bigger with it on, but I mean, like, I'm down to like 200, like less than 200 pounds, you know? So, and I will say, hey, look, even a compliment Enosh. Enosh lost a lot of weight. Okay. So good for him. The quartering just wanted some sass for those zingers. I don't know what's going on. Same thing with Dina Meyer. Oh yeah, she still looks good. Like Denise Richards, like what the fuck, right? Megan Fox, what the fuck? I saw a photo of Megan Fox, like, and it's like, girl, like you were better like before everything. It's crazy. She married a cosplayer, made the guy leave the greatest state for Texas. The guy will be filing for divorce in a few months. I mean, if there's consistent sex, I don't think he's going anywhere. I'll just be honest. There's a lot of you guys who might be virgins may not understand this. There's a saying, and I think Belle would even back this up. There's a saying that men have for each other. That is, never stick your dick in crazy. But there's a reason why men do it. And one of the reasons why men do it is because the crazy is like riding a mechanical bull. Okay? You just hold on and you don't let go for 8 seconds. And that's what you do. She also came back to Twitter dropping the F slur. That I saw. Stupid. When I saw the video without any sound at first, and it looked like she was going like, ho, ho, and I'm like, are you like trying to like not swallow cum? Like, what's going on? I don't understand this. Nothing wrong with some upgrades and nip tucks as long as we done right. Yeah, exactly. Everyone, like, it's fine. Yeah, like everyone does a lot of shit, right? Everyone does a lot of shit to kind of, women now in like their 40s look better than women in their 40s did 26 years ago. Pardon. It's just there's so much that's happened. But it's true. Never put your dick in crazy. But the crazy is the alluring part. And I think what it boils down to, we're completely off topic here. It's like Mo joined the stream. Where I think what happens here is what we're looking at is a situation where it's like, women want the bad boys. Why? Why? I can fix them. You'll hear that said quite a bit, right? Like the alcoholic, fucking semi-abusive, aloof, stoic piece of shit. I can fix him. Like, you ain't fixing Felix Jr., bitch. You're going to get your ass beat. And you ain't going to be able to hit yourself with a hammer and repair yourself. But dudes have the same problem with crazy bitches. Because they see a crazy bitch and they think like, I can tame that. Right? Or it's alluring. And there's the other thing too when it comes to relationships, right? So there's a great line. I've said this before, but I was bringing it up again. In Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, where I forget which character, I think it was Lan, said that women marry men expecting them to change. Men marry women expecting them not to. And that's another factor as well. All right. So it's like that ends up being a thing. And it's just a weird, complicated part of the adult experience, to be fair. Melanie Mack is dropping F slurs on Twitter. Yeah, thank you. 40 ain't like 40 in 1940. We got skincare products. A lot of us stay inside. We avoid direct sunlight. We hydrate, we moisturize. Everyone wants to fuck Harley Quinn. Yahtzee. There you go. Right? How many of us watched the fucking Assault on Arkham fucking Suicide Squad movie, an anime that came out a long time ago, and when Harley Quinn had sex with fucking Deadshot and she yelled out, Yahtzee, everyone's like, she came, and I'm jealous of Deadshot. That's what happened. Men will use love to get sex. Women use sex to get love. I mean, well, yes and no. I agree with the overall sentiment, but yes and no. Do I consider Melissa Barrera or Adria Arjona mid? I think Melissa Barrera is more on the mid side. Adria is not. It's has more to do with the symmetry of the face, I think. Like, I like the slimness of Adria more so than the roundness of Melissa Barrera. Not that Melissa Barrera is not, they're both very attractive, but I just prefer, you know, one over the other. Men want love too. Yes, we do. We very much want love. I think men want love. I think when it comes to men wanting love, is it's for us, it's also acceptance for who we are, you know? And it's like, I think that's a big factor. Um, and I think when you see a lot of the angry men online, it's that they feel like they're not accepted for who they are. And in many ways, it's because they don't know who they are. And that has a lot to do also with upbringing. A lot of kids never get the opportunity to really kind of explore who they are. Parents have this rigid idea, this mindset of what they should be based upon maybe what they didn't have when they were children, you know? And I think that's where you see a fair amount of that come from. And I feel that, you know, like if you were to sit down with young boys when they were at elementary school and ask them what they want to do and maybe find programs to kind of help some of that along, you would have more mentally stable male youth that would be more fundamentally in tune with their own feelings and their own emotions, as well as setting expectations and setting boundaries. There is actually there's a term for that. It's called social emotional learning, and it's something that does happen in a fair amount of schools that they're doing nowadays, which I think is really good. But I do think that there's an entire generation after mine. I think Generation Z and a large part of Generation Alpha males are fucked. Are fucked. I feel bad for them because there's like job opportunities, not as many. Potential romantic partnerships outside of your hand and maybe something latex, not as many. You know, and it's just kind of like, what do you do? Well, you have your hobbies. Your hobbies are gaming, comics, anime, manga, you know, movies, TV, right? Like, and a lot of that, especially gaming, that becomes your identity because that's something that you can hold on to that doesn't change. It stays constant. Everything else kind of has a problem with changing, and a lot of people don't like change. Okay, what are you sending me now? There's a new photograph of what and the who and the what. Um. So, oh, okay. Relationships are expensive. Yeah, but I mean, but relationships, like everything else, are work. You know, it's just part of it. It's like it's a fucking it's a job. You know, that's how you have to kind of look at it. Not like in a like a fucking 9 to 5 sort of thing, but like just it's a lifestyle change. How about that? Bro, I've tried so much with girls. Even my female friends said it's so hard to date. It is hard to date, you know? And so when it's hard to date and you want companionship or you want and you're lonely, there's so much loneliness out there. And it's not just men. I think there is more of a male loneliness epidemic. You know, but I do feel that like in many ways, like we probably need to like legalize prostitution a lot more just to kind of get people to go get it out of the way. Right? Like, I mean, I think if the hang up is sex, knock it out, dude. Get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way because it's there's so much more to it than that. Right? That's like just get it in, get it out, get that part of your brain over with, and then go on with it. Plus, you'll meet a lot of women out there, by the way. If you're a virgin, like post like 21 or some shit like that, you'll meet a lot of women that'll be like, I don't want to take your virginity. I don't want to take your virginity. I don't want to do it. And you'll be like, but why? And they'll be like, because I don't want that responsibility. And then if you lie to them and say, well, I'm totally fucking, you know, I'm balls deep in the pussy. And you're lying about that, then you start the relationship off with lying. And that's going to be something bad anyway. Prostitution is therapy. Jess, buddy, what are you confessing? Both genders have become extremely picky. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I really don't. But I'll tell you one thing, Bill. So when I was in LA, right, it's hard to not rubberneck because you're around nines and tens constantly, constantly. Everywhere you look, male, female, whatever, right? It's a 10 out of 10, right? The LA 10, California 10, right? the real lookers. And that can get intimidating because you're like, "Holy fucking shit, they're everywhere." And then when you leave there and you go back to wherever, you'll start noticing, like, maybe, like, 7s, right? But not LA 7s, but, like, because those would be like, but, like, 7s for your area. And you realize, like, it's actually really attractive. It's actually pretty nice. Yeah, it's real nice. You know what I mean? Because it's like it feels different, in that area. It feels different in that when you're looking at it through that perspective because you've seen, like, the creme de la creme, so you know what's out there, but dating in LA is horrible, you know? But then you go back to where, you kind of see people and you're like, "Oh, wow," like, you can start seeing beauty in a different way, I think. Um, and so, that's kinda how I view it, Also, a lot of dudes aren't picky, not in the way you might think. Yeah, I guess Mo has been trying to peddle off his cousin for a long time. Even RJ was, like, trying to get coerced to come out to California. If we legalize prostitution, it should be considered therapy, and it should be covered by health insurance. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I don't know how that would work out. Damn it, I dropped it. Don't number people that 1 in 10 shit is dumb. I don't disagree. I don't disagree that is dumb. But that's how a lot of people tend to kinda score things, you know what I mean? I mean, usually thumbs up, thumbs down is fine, but it's all about, like, it's all about, what your attraction level is. You know what I mean? It just depends on your attraction to the person and how you feel about that person and how what that person does for you, and that's gonna be different, for everybody, right? Which the key is you wanna find someone who's, like, into the same shit you are, but also has their own life. You gotta have that separation, you know? It's tough. It's all tough, right? Anyway, you should be okay with legalized prostitution if you're okay with your daughter doing it. I mean, well, my children are 6 and 8, so I'm not even gonna fathom that conversation, but from, like, a logistical point of view, isn't it like okay, like, how about this? Steven Spielberg has a daughter who's in pornography, if I recall. So, you know, he hasn't come out and said anything about it, right? What is the copay per nut? I don't even know. How would you how would you make that work? It'd have to be an hourly session. Like, how many times could you nut in an hour? Right? How many times can you realistically ejaculate in a 60-minute time span? Most guys are like, "A lot." Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could do it. I can reload the quickness. I'm like John Wick on that shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, whatever. It's whatever, man. Look, all I it's but it is difficult. Like, the dating scene in any capacity at this point. It's because we don't have those mutual places anymore. Right? I think one of the reasons why there was a lot of the hookups in small towns is what people had access to, right? The local livestock was pretty local. It's pretty there. And then now we get into the digital age where people can, like, meet somebody across the world, and develop relationships with people across the world and then want to come and see them, and then they fly. And I actually, like, I've talked to passengers of mine that are doing that, you know. One of my coworkers who is no longer with the company, I found out after he left was in a relationship with a woman from the Philippines, and he was sending her all of his money. And I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't know what he's doing. The dude's, like, in, like, his 70s, you know? And I'm all like, "Go collect that shit." Um, anyway, H Parts here says, "I'm ve" we're in the after dark part of the show. I'm very much an independent person and like alone time. So I hope my significant other would understand I need my downtime. I mean, I think a lot of people are like that. Yeah. Yeah. My girlfriend and I, we're like that. We've been together 17 years. She likes her downtime. I like my downtime. You know, the kids are kind of like the thing we have to share the most of, but that's just being a parent. But, she's like, she wants to go off and, like, before I go to work, she wants to go for a walk. I'm like, "Yeah, go. Take my car. Go walk. Go do what you need to do to take care of yourself before I go and work, or I'll do the same thing." Um, what's Bell saying here? Hold on. It's 1 to 30 these days? What is did I miss a comment? Uh, I don't know. We nut once, but mine is like a shotgun blast. I know from personal sessions with myself. Okay. It's like a shotgun blast right through her chest. Um, anyway. Wow. Wow. Wow, wowie wow. Um, well, I mean, time yourself on the reload then, you know what I mean? Let's see here. I love my downtime too. Also, we can't talk in the morning till I've had coffee. Yeah, I mean, like, my job is very social. I have to be social for my job, and so it's very odd when people don't wanna be social. That ends up being kinda weird. How is Polly at dating? Terrible. He doesn't like tattoos, and that's all the ones he can get, but they all have a swastika, it's so weird. Anyway, here, music note to self, don't set my cousin up with Music Man. Stop trying to set your cousin up with anybody. Or better yet, fine. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to invite your cousin on the stream. I'll give you a link. She can come on and her and I can talk. And then I'll be like, why does Mo so desperately want to find you a suitor? You know? Oh, a hot chick. Oh, you're talking 1 to 30 with the rating. Okay. Just like Superman to Lois. There you go. I'm trying with older women like 30s. Is that a good range? You're going to find a lot of, well, okay. Not to be a jerk, but there's probably going to be a couple different types of ladies that you might meet. One will be the single mother, and the other could be the lady who doesn't have kids but is feeling the biological clock a ticking. And she's going to want to drain you for all your resources. Let's see here. You can host a dating game with Mo's cousin. I don't want to host a dating game with Mo's cousin. I just want to know, like, why he wants to sell her off, right? Like, what does he get for, like, brokering a deal, for an arranged marriage, right? Like, what's the dowry? What's his cut? Is it 10%? Let's see. Older women were a blast when I was 19. I was fucking this 43-year-old. My God, she got a diploma for what she taught me. There you go, man. There you go. Maybe that's what you need to do for, like, maybe that should be a social program, right? Should I start a nonprofit for trying to coerce 45 to 50-year-old single women into taking on like a big sister or big brother or big sister program in the most Brazzers sense of the term? Maybe that's the way we do it. Maybe that's the way we do it. We get everybody locked and loaded on that front. Let's see here. Nope. If she finds out, then I'll find myself 6 feet under somewhere. Then stop bringing it up. Stop bringing it up, man. 2 words, single moms. I mean, it's Michigan, so that's probably not going to be tough to find. Mo here says, I don't want to die. But you're tempting fate. What if somehow your cousin comes over, uses your computer, and sees that you're logged into your YouTube account, and she sees my stupid mug, and she's like, "Doesn't that motherfucker look like mundane fucking Matt?" She clicks on that shit, and then she comes on this stream, and she sees like, "Oh shit, Mo." Bad single moms are the best. They put you before their kids. That's terrible. It's also kind of true. It is kind of true. Hate to say it, I do, but it's kind of true. You're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to go hang out? Oh yeah, it's gotta find a babysitter for little Gianni, little Gianni." Oh my God. Anyway, uh, local hot Matt Charpos are in your area. There you go. Single moms because they've already had some. That's the same logic that Jay and Silent Bob had in Dogma by going to the prostitution or going to the the reproductive clinic or whatever the fuck it was called, right? The abortion center. You know, like, "Hey, we're here to meet loose women." Why else would they be here unless they like to fuck? Uh, oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. You guys are crazy, I swear. Jay and Silent Bob are playable characters in Call of Duty. I know. I I don't get it. It's like so is Beavis and Butthead. So weird. Matt says Matt can't have Capri Suns. He's diabetic. Yeah, it's why I get this zero sugar vitamin water from Costco. It's got vitamin enhanced water beverage, enhanced with C and B12. Goddamn right. And it's only like 50 cents for the like this whole thing is like 50 cents. You get like 24 bottles for like 12.50. This is a dragon fruit. Tastes real good. What about single stepdads? I mean, those guys exist too, but Bell, I wouldn't be looking for that, and neither would anyone else in this chat other than you. But hey, you do you, boo. You do you. It's the Brady Bunch all over again. They have zero sugar versions of all major drinks now. I know, I like it. Some of them suck. I'll tell you that though. Like some of them, I've had like the actual zero sugar vitamin water. This is like the Kirkland brand. And the zero sugar vitamin water, like the traditional, terrible. No, I'm married. I was joking. Yeah, but will you be married forever? You know what I mean? Right? Death comes for us all, some capacity or another. You know, I mean, if you outlive your husband, statistically, you are going to. At some point, then Belle Reeves gonna need some loving, and then we have to figure out what that means. Because you know, the sorry, that's dark as fuck. I'm sorry. Let's see. What does it mean when a girl texts you, "Hey," but it's got 3 Ys? I think you're asking a 44-year-old elder millennial to kind of decipher what Gen Z text slang is. But if I recall correctly, it means she's DTF, right? Or that's like a hey, right? Hey, that's like a yeah, I'm opening my mouth more for you to put your dick in. Like that's the kind of hey, right? There you go. That's how it is. Mo Faps to Leon from Resident Evil. I could see it. We are Zennials now. That is true. We are. And I have to explain that to my passengers too, because we're like the day walker between the two different generations. You know, it's all like, yeah, no, we know how rotary phones work. We can also set up your fucking home stereo system. So there's that. But yeah, we are very much Zennials. And you know what? I'm a proud Zennial. I'm a proud Zennial. I've joined Zennial Facebook groups. That's how proud of a Zennial I am. I'm like, hit me with that sweet, sweet, dope ass nostalgia. Fuck Gen Z. They're already fucked. But yeah, if you got the John here with the 4 haze. Lonely John. What does it mean if she texts new phone, who dis? Oh yeah, no, that means you're definitely you're not doing well. You get that one often? Spherical man, you get that one often? John here says, I'm pre-internet. Yeah. It's not Gen Z. The proper term is Zoomers. Have you guys heard that Zoomers are now buying more, like they're buying DVDs and shit? Which is cool. I'm a day walker, 92. But that's no. 92 is not a day walker. 92 is flat out millennial. Okay. 82. I was born in 82. Okay. Zennials are from like 1977 to like 1983. The people that are on the edge of Gen X and the beginning of millennial, right there. Zoomers grew up with DVDs. Yeah, they did. No, well, did they? Hold on. Yeah, they did. When did Gen Z start? Let's see, 1997 and 2012. Yeah, they did. Absolutely. But they were also young though. It's like me growing up with VHS tapes. You know what I mean? But I still prefer to have the higher quality of shit. Matt is coping about his generation. Not really. I'm fine with where I'm at. What does it mean if you send a woman a dick pic and she replies with LOL? Well, that's not a no, by the way. That's not a no. So it's not as bad as it might seem. If you DM a woman a picture of your penis and she responds to that phallic imagery with an LOL, it can mean a couple different things. One, she could be looking at it and thinking to herself, this looks like a turnip, because it's entirely possible. Penises are disgusting, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. Penises are gross as shit. They look terrible. Vaginas, great. Mwah, love them. But penises are gross. They're just, it's like, what the fuck's the point, right? It's like a stem and like a throbbing apple on top with veins. You know what I mean? It looks like a goddamn Snickers bar, but in my case, white. White chocolate, which isn't even real chocolate. Still has a dick vein, though. That that's what I'm saying about that, though, is like, it could be like this is gross, or it looks so big, my tiny vagina can't handle the bigness of your fucking man arm and shit. Jessier says, my ex said I was stacked. There you go. What if a girl sends you a picture of her dildo collection? Then you go over there and you be like, let's play. Not that you have to handle the dildos, but if she's like, this is my assortment of toys, then you can be like, let's add some little bit of fun to the situation. Chocolate fat is what the fuck? I don't even know. That's what I call a real cock block. Yes. You block guys, you don't care who it is. I get that. Yeah. You know what it is though? It's like when I was younger, there was I had this thing. I was talking with a bunch of these girls I'd met like on whatever. And they'd ask me like, "Hey, you want me to like send you a boob pic or something?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to. No, because I wasn't looking for that. I wanted to find like an actual relationship. So I wasn't really looking for that. And I was like, I don't really know, because I've always like every time I get in a situation where a girl like shows me your tits, and it just kind of seems like a little off. It's not what I'm looking for personally. And then I had one girl that started like fucking show me like her vagina, and it was wet, and it just was not like this was back in the day though when the flip phones had like the real tiny camera, and it was real low resolution. So you're looking at it going like, I can't tell if that's a vagina or just a tuft of fur. I don't know. Is it a wet dog? I don't know. But there was one of them where you could almost like smell it through the picture. You know, you just was not the best. Turns out I was not the only person she was sending that to. So she was out there. She was out, she's casting a wide net. Casting a wide net. White chocolate fat is white chocolate. I wrote it badly. The fuck? What if your girlfriend's photos are in the Epstein files? Well, I mean, that's get her into counseling. What if she sends you a picture of a roast beef sandwich? Just send her back a photograph of some au jus mix. Just say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You know. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, you guys. She sends you a photo of Arby's roast. Yeah, say hey, kiss back. I got some Arby's sauce for that. I'm fucking hungry. Mo Moon said he sent a dick pic to a woman and she replied with, now let me see the front. What I find to be funny about Mo is like, I never thought Mo was into the ladies. Not like in that way. She's got the meats. She's got the meats. Hey, Belle, listen, you can say ooh all you want, but it's kind of like a lot of these dudes, beggars can't be choosers. All right. You know, if she's if she's unwrapping her labia and it ends up turning into like Mothra's wings, you know what? You're still gonna have to find a way to dive in. Uh wait, what if I wait, I'm schizophrenic and I was imagining having a girlfriend this whole time. Who did I fuck? A cantaloupe? I don't know. Jarbo's calling Mo by. No, no, no. I'm not calling. I'm not. I'm more like Ace. Fourth. I like a little lettuce down there. Small water-based items like crabs. I don't know. What's going on about me now? I'm just saying you are a peculiar feller. What the fuck did you just call me? Ace. I start calling you Ace. I thought you were asexual. Not that it matters, you know. Not that it matters. I want everyone to get some, right? I want everyone to have fun. I want everyone to have a good time. You know, I want everyone to be like, "Yeah, man, like let's fucking go." Mean the pubes? Is that what he means, the pubes? I mean, I do think pubes are largely underrated. I don't like it when there's no pubes. I think that's weird. I think it's weird. You know, it doesn't need to be like a fucking jungle, but it's just like, like let me land the plane, right? You millennials and your newfangled pronouns. It's not a pronoun, it's a fucking term. There's a difference. Uh what if your what if your female supervisor sends you nude pics, but dating coworkers is forbidden at the workplace? Uh Start looking for a new update your resume and then go to town. Asexuals are unicorns? I don't think they're as unicorn as you might think. I think there's a lot more of them now. But I do think it kind of boils down like a lot of people who I think it's I always kind of look at those things from the lens of that line from Wayne's World, where he's talking with Tia Carrera and he goes like, once I thought I had mono for an entire year, but it turns out I was just really bored. I think a lot of that. I like when the ruffles have ridges. I don't even fucking know, man. I don't even fucking know. What the fuck? How the fuck do we still have more people watching this? Like, people are still tuning in. I know Donovan's here. He's just writing things down. He's going like, all right, he's a fucking roast beef sandwich. I wonder if my mom knows what that is. Anyway. All right. Any final topics? Because it is getting close to 1 a.m. and I do want to wrap it up after about the 2-hour mark. I'm fine with or without, but I do want them. Pubes. It's pubes, Pubs. But it's just best to have them, yeah. Pinocchio is taking notes. I know. Pinocchio. Wait, what were you asking me about the about the Rock or whatever? You asked me a question about a Scott and Frank comic. Mario Galaxy and Childish Gambino as Yoshi. Yeah, I saw that today. I saw that. The final trailer it felt like there was too much going on. They haven't told me what the story is of the movie. Now, with that in mind, I'm not looking forward to like the critical discourse that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks when they start seeing the movie and they're like, it has nothing to do. They did the same thing last time. And I was like, God damn it. Cause I love the first Mario movie. It's super good. That's so much fun to watch. And this one looks like it's going to be upping it, Oh, right. The remake section. Right. Okay. I'll show you what I'm kind of talking about there. Let me find the image. Give me a second here. Hold on. All right. So this is kind of, it's one of the images. No, here it is. Okay. We're going to share this tab. Okay. So this is the background for the Scott and Frank comics. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen, all of you have seen the Scott and Frank comics. I think they're pretty fun. Video froze mid-yawn. I'm sure it did. Anyway, so this is what he's asking me about, the remake section, right? So this is the video store that Scott and Frank work at. And, like I threw an otaku. These are just meant to be like generic, like shit backgrounds. So just the remakes are just, how many times has Hollywood remade a movie? That's like literally the joke. And then like, and then just action. Yes, Jess, you are definitely one of the top commentators. I would say you are the top commentator. Yeah. So, but this is the Scott and Frank stuff that I do. I showed this the other day. I want to actually show you guys one. It's got a real deep cut in it, actually. And I'm really kind of proud of it, to be fair. So this is a copy, or this is a one where it's all, Scott asking Frank there, do I think Warner Brothers should release, do you think Warner Brothers should release the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever? So then, Frank says yes. right? It says, there's a darker 150-minute cut, more Bruce Wayne psychology, the giant bat dream. Fans have been asking for it for years. So why hasn't Warner Brothers released it? Because after the Snyder Cut, Warner Brothers learned a valuable lesson. What lesson? Never prove fans right, which is the better product. Now, but here's the thing. Do you notice, and I'm going to zoom in on these ones a bit more. Do you notice the cups there, right? Do you guys see the cups? So when I was thinking about this episode, or this little comic strip, I'm like, they're talking about Batman Forever. Well, what's like the one thing that Batman Forever did that was really cool in the marketing? Okay. And that was this. If you guys remember this, McDonald's had the Batman Forever mugs for 99 cents each. There were 4 of them, right? Batman, Robin, Two-Face, and the Riddler. And so for the comic strip, I fed that image into Google Flow and had him holding the different mugs. So you can see that he's holding a crystal Batman mug and there's a Riddler mug, but it's not like Jim Carrey Riddler necessarily. It just looks whatever. But they maintain the consistency throughout the different ones. And so it's really this like deep cut. It's a real, it's a real deep cut to everything. And that just goes to show you, for one, how cool and how great the AI is, but I wanted to make sure like that was in there for this comic. It's one of the reasons why I'm able to kind of, yeah, I didn't see the cups. Yeah, this is such a little deep cut that I just threw in there. Because I thought it was like just super interesting to have, right? So that's kind of, so again, the whole concept of these Scott and Frank comics are that like it's like 2 halves of my brain, right? My older zennial, middle-aged, cynical brain, and then my younger movie-loving brain kind of just having a conversation. And that's a lot of where this stuff comes from. And honestly, like it's a lot of fun to put together because they just, they're hilarious. I think they're pretty funny. Yeah, the forever mugs, exactly. Just you got to have that nice little bit in there. And again, it's just I do these for fun. I posted one, I think today, about why The Rock isn't a movie star, but we've already had that argument multiple times. I have another one that's about the Oscars and for your considerations. And so I'm like calling out Hollywood. I'm talking about like home video sales and things along that, right? Which part of my brain are the occasional customers? Probably like the parts of the conversations that I've hated with people. Am I going to compile them and sell them as a bundle? Probably not. The quality is not the greatest with that, but it's like, I am thinking about just building a small little website and then just throwing them up there. God, if Sinners wins, Hollywood is retarded. Sinners is, I do think, gonna win probably best original screenplay. Not worth it in my opinion, but it is gonna probably win best actor. I would say that. I would say the reason why it's gonna win best actor is because Michael B. Jordan put on 2 great performances. But if Ryan Coogler doesn't win, if it wins best picture but doesn't win best director, then I'm going to laugh, because I don't think you can have best picture without best director. I don't think so. I mean, the best picture is like the producers. That's the producer award. But it's like, I don't think you can have a best picture without best director. I mean, as much as like the story of Sinners, once the vampires kicks in, is mid, it's very mid. The ending is so rushed that it just kind of like falls apart thematically. And I know like people have been really desperate to try to like justify the laziness of the final act of that movie. And it's really funny to watch because like a lot of time, I mean, I will say at least their arguments now are like a little bit better than, well, the music is good. So Sinner should win for every award, including best animated, just for shits and grins. That'd be kind of funny. That would be kind of funny, actually. I would laugh at that one. If it did that. But it's just that whole thing of where it's like, again, it's like the movie, I think if it would have focused on really honing in what it wanted, then it would have been better. It's just a mishmash of ideas, right? So Ryan Coogler had all these ideas and he had all these concepts and he was working on all of these things. And he's like, okay, so we need to have, so the movie's called Sinners, but we never really explore what it means to be a sinner. We never really explore consequences from being a sinner. That's one of the biggest factors in that movie that I think bothers me. In fact, the sinning goes completely right. Like Pearline, for example, sinned by cheating on her husband, and then she died. Right? She died a cheating hussy. And her husband will never know what happened, but she didn't die because of that. Right? She died because, she got attacked and bitten by a vampire during the final fight scene. That was it. Right? Like Grace yells to the vampires, "Come on in." She doesn't even own the juke joint. So like, what are the levels of who can call somebody in? You know what I mean? There's what lore are you pulling from here? It's very scattershot on how it all kind of works. The hive mind part I thought was interesting. But again, there's no tension in the movie. At no point in time when you're watching Sinners are you going like, I really kind of fear for these people. They needed a reason to call it Sinners. Now, there's a reason, I forget what Ryan Coogler said. It's about the overall idea, but it's not reflected on screen. It's kind of like Weapons, for example. I loved Weapons. Why was it called Weapons? That's never explained, never hinted at, never touched on. The children were not used as weapons until the end of the movie, but the children were not taken to be a weapon. They were not taken to be trained to be weapons. They were not used as weapons by the villain. There was nothing about that movie that would insinuate that they were anything other than a spiritual life force for Aunt Gladys to suckle on, to get her powers back. That was it. They were never taken as a weapon. So if anything, the weapon was really like, Benedict Wong. That whole thing would have been the weapon, right? Like how they were used like that indiscriminately. But again, the movie never really factored the title in to the story. And I think the title is important. So I think if you were going to call Sinners, what you would focus on, the best way, if it were me. And this is where I think a lot of these people like Ryan Coogler is kind of in the same boat as like George Lucas in the 90s. Nobody is there. She did the font, the play. Oh, she put the sign up. Yeah, I can see your point on that one. But at the same time, it's like when she goes, "Come on in," no one yelled out, "No, we reject that." And then she just immediately beelines towards her husband and dies. She kills him. He lights on fire. He burns her to death too. That's it. And then after that, a few minutes later, everyone else is a vampire. It's Sammy and it's Smoke. And then they're out in the water getting baptized and the sun comes. I mean, this is all the dumb shit. You thought the title of the Sinners was about those who broke the 10 Commandments. I mean, they all broke the 10 Commandments, but that's never once mentioned in the movie. Right? It should have been called Colonizers. That's more of what the appropriate title for the movie would have been. But you can't really sell a gothic horror film, which, by the way, at the Saturn Awards, it won Best Thriller, not Horror. That was reserved for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which was also not a horror film. I swear, there's so many good horrors that you could make, that you could choose. Oh, you know what I saw? You know what I did watch the other night when I got home and I wasn't feeling well? I watched Megan 2.0 on Netflix, and I gotta say that movie was aces. It was fun. It was just fun. It knew what it was. It knew what it was. It didn't try to be anything other than what it was. Yeah, right. Come on in. No. We reject that. No. Hold on. She doesn't speak for us. Push her out. There you go. My problem with Sinners is that they had two antagonistic vampires in the KKK. The film doesn't know what it wants to be at times. That's my biggest complaint. That's why I keep saying that the third act of that movie is rushed, and it is so rushed, right? Like, how do they escape the sunlight? How? Well, here's the funny thing about that too. Let's say, for example, that Remick had won. Okay. And this is maybe what should have happened. It would have been interesting. Let's say that Remick had won. And this is at dawn. So they kill everybody. All right. They assimilate everybody. Where do they go? Well, they go into the juke joint. They hide out in the juke joint until it's nighttime. Okay. Well, then the KKK show up. And then the KKK light fire to the barn. And the KKK then burn down the barn, and they got nowhere to go that's out of the sunlight at the beginning of the day. So then all the vampires die. All the KKK die. Everybody dies. And there you go. No, no. I know Dolly is probably gonna be better. What I'm talking about is Megan 2.0 is basically just like the Terminator 2, but, like, funnier. That's the whole point. It's like an '80s action movie. Like, that's the thing with with Megan 2.0. It's not scary. It's not meant to be scary. It's an entirely different genre. It was fucking female Chucky movie. Yeah, kind of, but it was funny. Yeah, I agree with Fourth here. It was fantastic. I had so much fun with that movie. Dude, Jermaine Clement as an Elon Musk stand-in was hilarious. You know, it was solid. It was solid. There are some pretty funny moments in that movie. Well, the thing with the first Megan is it took itself seriously because it was meant to be serious. Number 2 was not serious at all. Right? Like, there's a part in Megan 2 where they bring up the killing of the dog from the first Megan, and then Megan goes like, "I was a child. I didn't know any better," which was totally a fucking dig at Allison Williams' character, and it was like, fucking Jesus Christ, man. You just reverse Uno'd her when she tried to own you. Holy shit. And the thing was, though, it was written and directed not by the lady who did the first movie, the guy who Jared Johnstone or whatever. He fucking just knocked it out of the park, man. Yeah, Megan 2.0 could have been better. Fine. But for what it was great. I would actually watch the hell out of that again. I would be okay with watching it again. That's how much fun I had. You thought it was a dig at Christy Nome? No. No. Let's see here. Okay, so Fourth says, I felt Sinner vampire lore would have been better if they didn't act hive mind once bitten. Remick instead gives us a convincing proposal to be vampires on their own free will due to how shit life was. And then the ones who didn't turn vampire had to be killed off to keep the secret. That would have been interesting, where people actively chose to become vampires in order to have that better existence, right? That's the part of the colonizer part of that, though. That's interesting. So the trailer didn't wow me, so I didn't see it. Dude, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. It's fun. It's fun. It's stupid fun. Maybe a little long in the tooth. It's like 2 hours long. It could have been like maybe 145. And there's some moments where you have to kind of laugh your ass off at it a little bit. Um, you know, Mo here says, to be fair, I blame Christy Nome for all dog killings. No one. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, but I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was entertaining as hell. I was really surprised. I was like, oh shit, this is pretty good. And then I found myself just kind of chilling with that. All right. Okay, yeah, it's 1 a.m. I'm gonna get going. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I do appreciate it. And there was like all of these AI action stories that I wanted to show you guys. There's an AI action film competition going on right now that I thought would have been interesting. So we'll talk again tomorrow night. I'm feeling better. Hopefully I can get Chris the Bipolar Jedi on, or it's 12:50. It's 12:50. No, it's not. It's 12:58. It's got 2 minutes to 1 a.m. John Wick versus Megan. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'd be down for that. All right, everyone. Have yourself a great night. Thank you again for watching. I don't know if I'll be on camera tomorrow night if this whole thing's acting wacky. But anyway, I'll see y'all.